Hello and welcome to the Foxcatcher Review Show. My name's Jules and Hutchi. I was joined in studio by Hutchi from racing.com.
Mm-hmm.
How are we? How was the weekend? There was a lot on.
Oh, wow. There was a lot on, wasn't there? Fantastic racing from all over the globe, it's got to be said. And the sports. How good were the sports?
Well, the sports were good. And there was a bit in the sports. But that, just touching on the sports, I think we've got the right teams doing the right things. I'll tell you what, Melbourne come the last Saturday in September might be on riot watch, is what I would say. if those two teams are in the prelim end up meeting,
it might be if they get a couple of those calls in the final that they got last week.
Yeah, that just keeps it interesting. We've spoken about this a lot. WWE, they actually, that's what happens. AFL is just the same.
Okay.
Also, we'll say it's the worst.
You were at that game. How was the atmosphere? How was
worst governed sport in the world, by the way.
How was the feeling?
It was tense.
Yeah,
there was a little bit happening there, but
I can tell you the feeling.
It's entertainment, so that's all. It
was entertainment. It was
don't care who wins or loses. It's entertainment for them.
Very entertaining at the Valley as well. It was great.
That was a great track.
Yeah,
let's get to it. Track intel, Moonee Valley, Saturday. True position the entire circuit here, Hutch. Good 4 throughout, which we loved. Played brilliantly in my eyes.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was really, really
You were
good.
out there, weren't you?
I was there, and the wind was strong, actually. There was a northerly or northeasterly.
Yep.
Anyway, basically between the 12 and 800 and the 800 metres, 12 to the 800 metres, I think cover was pretty important. But it was a good surface. You could win from anywhere. You just needed that right run, and I think cover at the right time. We often don't get the opposite kind of wind there, a southerly, which make it hard for the horses chasing. But no, the track has played really well. Kudos to the man running the track at the moment. He's done a brilliant job down from Sydney. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's raced really well, hasn't it? So back to the True, that was good. And you'd think probably they might stay there for Cox Plate, something the way it's raced in the True for the 2 times it's been back. We've raced there 3 times. It was brilliant, I thought, the first time we raced there. And then obviously on Saturday, outstanding as well. So you don't think there's really any excuses other than hard luck, which we'll get to in certain races where you can't jump them. Every horse seemed to get their chance. And I know you're talking about the wind a little bit probably benefiting some horses, but I don't think horses were disadvantaged with lanes and all that.
No, I don't think that was the case at all. I think there was a perception through the day that, and this is the theory that I'm going with, maybe wrong, who knows, but that the inside wasn't quite as good. And we saw some of them sort of sweep down those just off the fence, and I think a lot of them wanted to get away from the fence about midway through the card. But I think that was a function of those horses facing the breeze, dying on their runs or not being good enough. The field sweep around them and they're naturally thrown into those lanes. But as we saw later in the card, a couple on the inside, there was nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Yep.
So it was perfect all across for me.
It was great. I agree. All right, Hutch, let's get to the hen house. So the races that we think we want to be with and we'll keep in our back pocket or even our front pocket and every pocket that we've possibly got.
You know what? We've done well to restrict it to 3 because this overall meeting was really good.
Yep.
So this is the creme de la creme.
Sometimes we get a meeting and you go, that race went good, that went race good, and you just want to cover the whole meeting. This one, Moonee Valley don't do it too often, but I think I agree with you here. This Moonee Valley meeting is solid as a rock. And
I think you're changing with the Valley. You're coming around.
Yeah, I am. There's a lot of
things. It's taken a long time, Jules. It's taken a long time.
I was burnt a little bit in that autumn where it was just racing like an absolute dumpster. So it's fought back. And as I said, I was very critical of it in that time. So if you're going to be critical, you've got to also give the good with the bad. So no, it's been going really well. Long may it continue until they burn the joint down. Race 5, Angel Capital is the race. 3/4 of a second inside standard time, 23.33, 11.47. Winner goes 11.33. First up off 210 days. This horse went through the sky.
It did. What a win. I mean, wow. It was some sort of performance. Smashed the clock. Looked at an exciting prospect as a 3-year-old, didn't he?
Yep.
And then obviously new camp. He looks like he's taken that next step. I mean, gee whiz, we'll talk a little bit probably later, maybe where they'll go.
We can talk now, to be honest, because I think I don't know. I haven't listened to what the idea is. Now the horses are colt, so they need a G1.
They need a G1.
So your 2 options probably in the near future are the Rupert Clark Stakes, which is a 1,400 metre handicap at Caulfield, or you wait to the 1,200 metres Manikato Grand Final Eve. What would you do? Now, knowing that this horse was rated 95, probably goes to, I'd say, a rating 100 off that win.
Oh, yeah, maybe a touch more, but you'd go for the 1400, I would imagine. Handicap. You've still got you're well handicapped under those circumstances, aren't you?
Yeah, and we'll talk about that quickly. I sort of sent a tweet out yesterday is that another Will's likely to nominate for the Rupert Clarke. So that probably gets our original top weight to 59. So
do you think another will run there?
Well, whether he runs there or not might not be the issue. As long as he nominates, then they get the 59. And then as long as a horse that's got 57 accepts, then nothing will happen to the weights. So from that perspective, I don't think it matters. I think he probably will run there because I think he's not running so put it this way, he's not running this week in the Makybe Diva. That's already been declared. Mm-hmm. So if he doesn't go to the Makybe Diva, it's probably your next option.
Well, he's not giving some of these that much weight.
Well, his first up run, which we spoke about on this show 2 weeks ago, was plain at best. So to carry 59 and give horses like this 7 kilos, because Angel Capital, Seeples, all those kinds of horses will be on 52, take a pretty good effort to win with 59. And we've seen over the time, Rupert Clarke race is just made for these horses on 52.
And if they went to the Manikato, they're going to take on Barrack Hill, who's absolutely flying, probably better at 1200, I think. Yes. I think he's won the 1,000 on a little bit of class.
Yes.
But and there'll be others probably with the Manikato in 100%. Mind. So it's a bit of a no-brainer.
I would have thought, but Seawaller will know better than us. And
Seawaller will have a plan, that is for sure. And we will not know better than us.
And we'll not know that. And then we'll find out that it's some race in Queensland worth $5 million that we've never heard of, and he goes there.
I just wonder as well, with this ownership group, they have to have a fairly significant influence in determining where they go. I know that we didn't see, like Via Sistina running a carp and other races, then they wanted to go to certain races. But, this horse himself, of course, changed stable in interesting circumstances. So I would have thought that they'll do their due diligence, and the Rupert Clarke makes sense.
It does seem to make sense, but
because he might be better. I mean, I think he's probably better 1400 too. Angel
looks
Capital.
Likely to me. Yeah, that 100% agree with that. That was Angel Capital. We're going to keep going here though, because I thought race 7 was a ripper. It was won by Alpha Sophie here, Hutchi, with a equal to standard time. Love the last 400, 200, 11.48. When it comes home, 11.30. Now, a lot of people could say, she got the suck run and all that kind of stuff. Let's be clear here. Her numbers in Brisbane were enormous.
Yes.
Massive, significant trainer upgrade. No disrespect to the others, but Moody Coleman.
She went well at a jump out. You'd love your jump outs.
I'm sure she did. But she had good numbers to begin with. And then if you say, okay, there's a little bit of improvement there with the new camp. Cute draw. Had to get the luck at the right time, but it opened up. But when it did open up, she accelerated like a really good horse.
It was a real soft win. I mean, she did have a nice run in transit, a little bit of cover, darted up the inside, but she put him away. Like to me, it was the win visually of like you've got a class on that field.
Yeah. So she's a little bit deeper into the prep than the others. She sort of raced all through those winter months. The question I have for you,
pretty well though. I mean,
no issue there. Yeah. The question I have for you, that was over 1,200 metres. Do you think she can get to a mile, say like 1,000 guineas? I mean, they have to go to the prelude at least to find out at 1,400 metres next start. Surely, you would do that with her.
I suspect yes.
Yeah,
she relaxes really well.
Yeah,
and she's got good change up speed. And I think that's the path you take, and then you decide where you want to go after the 1,400. But I don't see any reason why she won't be hard to beat in the prelude.
Totally agree. They've got another horse in the camp, which actually we saw win on Wednesday, called Vivid Sun.
Yes.
And that rated really well as well, but I've got this one rating bigger. So I'd have Alpha Sophie ahead in saying that Vivid Sun might be a real miler. And this horse we're trying to figure out if it can get to a mile.
Well, and this is the other thing. In the same race, Ole Dancer was back. I think it was the best final 200 in the whole very good late sectionals anyway. And it was a good run, and that galloper might also be going that way. Yep. So there are some options, and I know, just with that stable, we'll both go there and decide afterwards. But they were both good runs, so it could be a good spring for Moods.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep going with this. We're going to go to the Moir Stakes, race 9. Barrack Hill wins it. Look, outside standard time for me, but the last 400, 200 pretty good. I mean, 11.17 for the winner, which is, I think, just about the best of the day. It was one of those races we talked about in the preview that 2 or 3 horses are going to be unlucky. It's just the way it's going to be. It's 1,000 metres around Moonee Valley.
Welcome to the valley.
That's just what happens. Okay, and we're going to get that. And I think looking at the map and how it was going to evolve, I was really surprised Skybird was off the map. It ended up starting favourite Skybird, but I just didn't have it mapping anywhere else but 3-back, 4-back rail. Yeah. So, look, it gets the run. It's probably right there. Barrackeel did get the run, made his own luck compared to, say, Neance, who decided, well, I'm going to be wide and just deal with that and come out sort of the high percentage play. It was a brave ride, I thought, but had the right horse. He'll be better at 1,200, as you said earlier, won't he, Barrackeel?
He'll be hard to beat in Manikato.
Yeah.
I think. I think the race actually, pre the event, there were some knockers on the depth of it being a strong Group 1.
Yeah. I was the other side to that. But if you go back through the Moir in previous years, you would get sort of one good horse and then it falls off.
I think this Moir is going to have a lot more than one too.
Yeah.
There were some decent runs. I'm not saying they're all stars, but there was enough depth in this field, I think, and substance in the overall sort of time, etc. that, I don't mind the race. And there were some unlucky runs in behind. There were some big runs and there were some horses that we do want to follow out of it.
Let's talk about a few horses just because they're high-profile talking horses. Escher, what did you make of her? So she had to be used up early from that gate, which we understood. Midwest probably just half missed it and then just continued to push.
Yeah.
Would you have liked Jamie to try and cross Midwest?
I think, I would have, but she would have assumed that Midwest may drop off. I mean, she got there easily, probably be a little bit more aggressive and then cross. And look, Escher had its knockers, plenty happy to take it on and that was validated post-race. Did pull up with an issue. How significant that was, who knows? I'm not the knocker in having a throw at the stumps with this horse. We got there for fun. It relaxed well. It was only beaten 2.5 with an issue. I think it's a very smart horse, Escher. So whilst, those who took it on this occasion were proved right, I thought it was a really good performance. I know you've got some concerns.
I just hope they've still got a horse.
Yeah. I'm not, it's each case on its own, and I get it. It's only its 3rd race start. Can be very tough for them, but the tough ones bounce out of it all right.
The key.
And I don't mind it, and I think she is a very, very talented horse. She hasn't been beaten far. She's pulled up with an issue. She was there for fun and cruising, and Midwest could hardly keep up with her.
Yeah.
And I thought there was a lot of merit to look where Midwest finished as a specialist around there as well after doing what it did, and it's got a pretty good record. So I just feel that she'll have a good race in her, Escher. So I'll be sticking with her.
Yeah, it'd be really fascinating to see what they do, whether they go, okay, as we've suggested that she did pull up a little bit lame, do they go paddock or do they try and nurse her back together? And because there's some really nice races for 3-year-old fillies back end of the carnival. Red Roses, Flemington Group 3 race, just something like that, which will be a bit softer for her. And then she can build again into the autumn. Yeah. She's only a 3-year-old filly. So there's plenty of options for her going forward. So as I say, hope they've got a horse going forward. Anything else out of the race do you go solid? Like Neance, as I said, decided to sort of play the high percentage play. She was okay.
I thought it was just a run, to be honest. I was pretty keen on her chances. I thought I wanted to see a touch more. There was obviously everyone's seen Skybird was very unlucky, but it was always going to be that sort of case. It was always going to be back inside. But I think from the positive of Skybird, they've got a horse that is a Group 1 winner. They've got some options proven down the straight. The Skybird will be a good horse to follow, I suppose, where they decide to go.
I suppose they go the Manikato, but again, she draws inside.
Same.
It's rinse and repeat, isn't it, for her?
It is.
Because she doesn't have the ability, which is fine because she's got a great turn of foot and all that kind of stuff. But she is a low percentage play in terms of she just can't settle any closer.
It's a really interesting discussion as well, and something we all do. The form, okay, yes, she was unlucky. Many will say she would have won. That's fine. But what's the better run? The horse has done no work. Creeps up on their back and is badly held up, or the horse has been 3-4 wide, no cover the whole way, and is beaten a similar margin, and probably had its chance to run on, but has covered more ground. Like a couple of runs in there, was it Sway was a big run? Yeah. There are others, and well enough exposed that won't be getting carried away. But no, I think overall the race was okay. Skybird, big tick.
Yep, absolutely. That's the hen house this week. Doghouse here, punters. I'm probably being a little bit unfair here to this race because it's gone, as we've spoke about at the start, most races, or just about all races, have actually gone pretty good. And I just had to find one for the sake of, being a little bit negative because that's, what happens in the world.
Well, you need a bit of yin and yang, don't you?
Yes, a bit of Cheech and Chong. So this is just a benchmark race, but look, It is race 2. It was won by Jazz Affair. Look, they've gone inside standard time. Look, the last 400 is just a little bit soft compared to the rest of the day. But as I said, I'm being a little bit harsh on this because these are benchmark horses versus a lot of group races that we ran against. I just think possibly this race is not one I don't think the market's really going to gravitate towards. Now, there could be an outlier to that. Maybe Yoshio, they want to give one more chance because it was just second up and probably a little bit vulnerable.
And wants further.
Yeah, absolutely. So maybe they look at that. But I think overall, Jazz Affair's deep into the prep. I thought Zara lifted over the line, unfortunately.
It was a bit sickening, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Too strong, too good.
Yeah. So, look, I'm being harsh, but for the sake of...
I'm not joining you on this one. I'm just letting you sort of dig your own grave here. But I get what you're saying because Jazz Affair is well exposed. Pretty long gap back to third and the rest of them.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And which was interesting, actually, the way that obviously, because they did go fast out in front. So they're 3/4 inside. And obviously, I think that's what left Yoshio just a little bit vulnerable. That no fault of Craig Williams, he was just left there. And he probably, if he's deeper into the prep, holds on and wins. But it was just a little bit vulnerable.
The problem was the horse in front of him facing that breeze punctured, and he had to pop out and go, and then he was the winner had last crack. But anyway, I think Yoshio's going to win a race. But I'm just letting you dig your grave.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm not getting involved there.
Let's get out of here. All right, Hutch, let's get to the hits and misses from the PointsBet trading floor. So again, we go through this for the viewers out there just to identify were these horses backed because it was the right moment, right time for them, and we probably drop off, or we can keep them on side with us. I'm going to start with race 3, Kings Valley, $6.50 into $3.90. Misses, but runs second. I've put this into my Foxes then. I thought it was an enormous run being second up. It's going to improve.
Yeah, I was with it on the weekend, and I thought it was a great run, and definitely a horse I'd be sticking with Kings Valley. Not surprised that the money was there.
Yeah. Race 4, this horse was backed at a big price. Almerac, $26 into $10. Craig Williams just misses, runs second.
I was going to ask you a bit about this too, because there was a lot of early money around for this horse, and the recent form had been atrocious. So for the punters at home, it was a significant move from an early mark. How much do they trust some of that early money, and how much should be respected? Is it a case-by-case basis?
Yeah, I think it's a case-by-case, but it's also there's a few little cheat codes. I don't know if I want to say out loud.
Well, I'll ask you this, though. So there was money early, and it continued to shorten.
Put it this way. It was the right early money.
Yes, okay.
So the significant price change showed that it was a person that we respect very, very highly in the industry, that you would suggest it was probably him.
Okay.
And so when you see that early doors, you go, well, this is going to continue to firm up, or it's not going back the other way. So that was fascinating, especially because you're right, it was an atrocious form.
Yeah.
So
had one good run this prep, and then not sure where it went, but the money was right anyway. It was a great run.
It ran really well, Range 5, Angel Capital, 230 into 205. Same race, Zoo Sensation, 480 into 340. Those two did clear out. Angel Capital was spoken about in length. We want to definitely follow it. Zoo Sensation for me, probably not the greatest of rides in my opinion, but you're suggesting there was factors in that.
I think it's a bit harsh because didn't step great. It's a horse that really over races. We've seen it over in recent outings and can overdo it. And unfortunately, when just Zoo Sensation didn't step well, it was left without cover, can get over racing. And I think tactically early, Jamie wanted to have Angel Capital locked away. That spot didn't really become available with the horse in front coming back, and then it just half took off on it, I believe, or she let it roll into it. Yep. So I felt with a horse, it's not an easy ride, and it clearly can get very keen. There was excuses, and it wasn't really pilot.
That's fair. That's good intel. I'll say also a Zoo Sensation deep into the prep. So I think probably now, let's just wait and see. Probably didn't have a great experience, so not too sure where they go with that horse. Race 6, I want to get your thoughts on this horse. It was on debut in a group race. His name was Rosberg. The fact that the debutant was $5.50 into $3.30 is beyond significant from a pricing point of view, even before the barriers open. And then it comes out and wins like it does. I think it's pretty bloody special.
Yeah, it must be because it tackled some experienced, lightly raced horses, but it looked...
They have good enough numbers, these other ones.
He looked almost the one that was the experienced horse. Sydney travelled so well. It was a sweet win. It was a very good performance. I mean, the pace was interesting. Great ride, I thought. albeit from an inside draw, just to extricate and get out and keep that momentum going. But smart horse. I'm not sure where the ceiling is. Big wraps. There's big tip around. A lot of money for it. I mean, they'll obviously be heading towards a Coolmore.
Yeah.
It was a nice tonic actually for Clint McDonald, who lost Angel Capital.
Yeah.
So would have been an emotional hour for him, that one.
Absolutely. Yeah. A few lows and then the big highs.
Is this the kind of horse that can win a Coolmore?
I think so. It looks like it's going to improve significantly from it, just even its racing manners and all that kind of stuff. And Jamie saying it just doesn't know what it's doing. And I think with those kinds of horses, the straight can help it. It's just bang, point and shoot, and they can just go as quick or as whatever they need to do. I will say the race hasn't gone massive for me in terms of a rating point of view, but I feel like this horse is sort of a bit of an outlier with this race. Like I'm probably maybe a little bit worried about the others behind and where they sort of end up. And I think there might be a few that probably aren't 1,200 metre horses and might need further, maybe. But this horse, you just go, there's more of a ceiling here.
Yeah.
So I'm not potting it at all. So I'm excited. But that's where you got to aim for. I mean, he's a colt. They want to get the Group 1 and sell him for 20 million. I mean, that's the aim. That's the dream, isn't it?
Great game.
Yeah, correct.
Great
and
game.
they're at the moment.
Got any shares in horses at the moment,
Nah,
Jules?
gosh.
Stop that?
Yeah, we
Okay.
stopped that.
Better get you back in somewhere.
Well, please. I've been trying to buy some. I've been trying to
6-year-old gelding somewhere that.
Yeah, I got involved with that with JJ actually, and we ended up running and winning at Port Lincoln or somewhere. We had about 3 runs. We won 3 times, and then got rid of him, and he's gone 0-0-0-0 since. So
Well sold.
yes, correct. Let's get to the next one in the hits and misses. Alpha Sophie, 14 into $5.50. So the early price they snapped up just said was too big. Change of camp, absolutely. Numbers in Brisbane were good enough, and it ran right up to that. We'll keep it with us on side, won't we?
Yeah, we've spoken about her. She was terrific. And it's a race I like too. And the stablemate was a fantastic run.
Race 8, this horse went into our Fox's Den a couple of weeks ago. We're going to keep it in there. So you're going to talk about this horse again. But Moira, 6 into $3.80. Misses, but we're keeping it, aren't we? But you can talk a little bit further about it.
Great overseas form. I thought didn't really learn much debut run in Australia. But then first up, that was a good run. I thought that was a good run behind Private Eye. Wrong part of the track, wrong tempo.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, probably didn't get a strong tempo again on the weekend and popped out, presented. And I know some might be disappointed that she didn't go on and win, but although most people were on Desert Lightning and was pretty brave. But for a mare that's going to get over a bit of ground, good run.
I thought it was outstanding. Race 9, Skyberg, 8 into 5. We've spoken about it. Unplaced, unlucky, we get that. But that's that kind of horse. And La Fraca, 5 into 4 hits. It's just a really good horse, isn't it?
Going well. Great ride.
Yeah.
Slow tempo helped from back and rounded them up. Keeps winning over 1,200.
Hits and misses for this week. Let's get to In the Fox's Den here, Hutch. I'll get you to kick off because you've got a few around the grounds.
Yes, there were roses. So
Yes.
3-year-old, I know you like the maiden. You were following a couple out of the race, but she attacked the line brilliantly and they'll be stepping her up. Maybe those 3-year-old feature races. I think she is clearly one to follow. Paradise City, sectionals were outstanding. Last 200 at the meeting best.
Just not a 1,000-metre horse.
Not a 1,000-metre horse. 1,400 metres. Paradise City will be winning some races. And I'm going to throw Moira in as well. I thought Moira was a good run. And they'll go towards the
Underwood Stakes.
Underwood.
1,800 metres. That's got to be the race for it. Absolutely. Kings Valley for me, third up. It's ready to rock and roll. Zany Girl, hidden horse there in Tasmania. Came out, thought it was unlucky in that race. Be with it. Olive Another Day. It's a horse that ran second in a maiden. It can win next start. And Danube went enormous. Ballarat synthetic. Just got to get that synthetic to turf, which has been a bit of a worry. Got some stats on that, which aren't really good viewing, but Danube might be able to break the trend. Thanks, Hutch.
Go the Suns.
Ooh. Righto, punters. Hutchie gone. Ashman comes in off an absolute heater on Saturday, my friend. Welcome.
Hello, mate. Yeah, it was a good day, wasn't it? Pericles gets the cash. Greatest gear change in racing at the moment is whatever trainer was, or James Cummings off and new trainer on. No disrespect to James, but these horses, as you identified on Thursday's preview show, seem to be going to a new level first up in their new stable.
Yeah, we did say that on the Thursday show. That's a bit of a cheat code, and the numbers do back that up. Might put some numbers out. Might put some numbers out a little bit later in the week for the punters want to have a look at. Let's get to the intel, mate, and how this Randwick track played. Out 4 metres the entire circuit. It was a good 4. Where were they coming from? Seemed everywhere.
Intel was absolutely spot on. They said it was just even across, and lanes. Every lane from lane 1 out to lane 8 provided a winner. if there was a small bias, 9 of the 10 winners were in the first 6. So probably you just wanted to be forward of midfield to give yourself a slightly better chance. But in terms of the lanes, mate, it was dead even.
Beautiful. Okay, let's get into some horses possibly that we want to follow throughout in New South Wales. And I'm just going to start chronologically here because you found one Wednesday Warwick Farm to begin with.
Well, I know you love following maidens. So this is a race 2 at Warwick Farm, was a benchmark 64 over 1,200 metres. And there's a filly called Surfs Up. And we're coming into summer, so what better horse to be following? She ran second to a horse called Cantiamo from Chris Lees' joint. J-Mac rode that horse. When Lees and J-Mac team up, they're usually pretty much on song. She produced the best last 200 metres of the day. The race was bang on average in terms of standard time, but they gave the standard time marker half a second at the 600 metre mark. So they've come home really well. I think she's one you can follow going forward. And then on Saturday, I really felt, look, Shawisha was good. I just don't know where they go with her. I just think the obvious, Lady Shenandoah was outstanding. If she gets out at the top of the straight, I've got a little back end system. It's a little bit dicky. I'm not going to claim it to be that good, but I reckon she wins by about 2 lengths. And I think if she wins by 2 lengths, she's clearly the standout second favourite for the Everest. And speaking of the Everest, Larry's letterbox this week, we've had a couple of questions about where does Ka Ying Rising measure up in terms of ratings. I've got, again, a back-end system that I use, as you know, over the years for the European horses. I apply it to the Hong Kong horses. I'm a little bit tougher on Hong Kong horses because I think the depth over there in the sprinting ranks versus ours is usually a little weaker. He's what I call a rock-solid 93, 94 horse. He's got to a peak of sort of 96, 97. To give you an idea, Shenandoah, I think, is around that mark, that 93. Now, it all depends on how he travels out here. I'm going to be harsh on him. My database is saying he might only have a length or so on her. So I'm, at this point in time, gun to my head, I'm going to back Lady Shenandoah to win the Everest and beat Ka Ying Rising, mate.
That is big. So will Lady Shenandoah have a run before? Will she come down to possibly the Manikato, or they keep her up there, you think, and look after her?
I think they've got to justify the slot, so they might have to. I'd love her just to go straight into her. I think she's awesome fresh. So I hope they go straight in. I hope she gets Waller's slot, and I think she'll beat him.
The key is to talk about they have to justify the slot, but it is Waller's slot. So in essence, he can just do what the hell he wants, can't he?
To some degree, and you'd think the owners of Lady Shenandoah would be more than happy to get it. So we'll see what unfolds, mate. But I think she can beat Ka Ying Rising, and I might end up with egg on my face. But hey, wouldn't be the first time that's happened.
I really love that. That's exciting. Thank you, mate. See you soon.
See ya. Wow.
What are you really gambling with?
For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.